In this video, I'm going to make a bench for my family room, which my kids use as a mudroom. So the first shelf is going to be for sneakers, the bottom area is going to be for boots, and eventually I'm going to make a coat rack to hang on the wall above it as well.
Now because I'm using 2x10s by 8 foot long, they're just too big to get up on my sliding compound miter saw. So I'm just going to cut the pieces to length using my circular saw. I'm going to use the quarter sawn for the top. I'm basically going to cut out the center pith, just throw it away. And I'm going to use the sides. So I'm going to be gluing up 4 pieces to make the top. So guess what I just found out? I'm going to have to move my table saw back away from the wall, which doesn't sound like a very hard thing to do because it is on a mobile base. But I cheaped out and bought the Harbor Freight casters, and 2 of them have already broken. So my mobile table saw base is actually up on some blocks. Don't tell my son. And I seem to have forgotten to turn on the camera when I was ripping all the pieces to width and resawing the shelf pieces to 7/8 of an inch. So, yeah, they're the finished pieces, ready for glue. And now to start cutting some legs. Alright, I had all these grand ideas on making a angled tenon for the legs to fit into the top, but as you can see, the angles never seem to line up properly after I cut all the way around, and you know, the blade is not really meant, it's not a flat bottom blade, so it's making all these grooves. So I give up. I'm not going to make any special fancy tenons. I'm just going to make the one compound cut for the legs, and I will just use some pocket screws to attach everything together. Alright, now to make the compound cut for the top of the legs. Marking everything at 5 degrees. This is the tall end, which is going to be the inside top. So from the short end, I measured down 16 and 5/8 and made a mark. And that is going to be the tall end of the bottom, the long end. And now I'm going to rip these side supports to width. flip one side to the 5 degrees to match the legs. Okay, I've cut the fence away from the inside the blade to 11/16. So I'm going to run one side, flip it around, run the other side, and that should give me a 5/8 inch wide, 1/4 inch deep dado, and that will support the shelf. Ah! Worked on the first try. Alright, these two will be the supports for the shelf. And these two will secure the top to the legs. And now I'm just going to clean up the mortises. Now, because these are 2 inches wide, but with the angle it turns out to be more than 2 inches wide. So you really have to test it out, make sure that it fits nicely in there. Good. 1 down, 3 go. So it turns out the shelf doesn't seem to be very stable. So I'm going to rip it down the center, and then I'm going to square up both edges. I'm going to flip one side over, and hopefully that'll take care of this huge cupping that's happening right now. It did straighten it pretty well, but I've got this, the center is pretty well raised, so I'm going to have to flatten the top of the board. It's going to be the top of the shelf. flat, but it's good enough for me. Alright, now to measure to make sure that I've got the inside dimensions correct. 32 7/8 is what I have to do. Now I'm going to cut a 30-degree bevel on the bottom of 3 sides of the bench top. I know the top of this is exactly where the blade's going to be. So I measured off of this front one I just cut, and I needed to keep it back 5/32 of an inch from the top of that cut in order to make it hopefully the same. Okay, I put a couple of pocket holes in the back. This is where I'm going to attach to the studs in the wall. I put 2 in here. This is about where it's supposed to be. And I put 2 pocket holes in there just in case I screwed up to give me an extra chance. Alright, found a square drive bit with a 1/4 inch socket. Let's see if I can finish driving these in. Okay, I've wiped the entire bench down with alcohol and a rag. Now I'm just going to put my standard boiled linseed oil finish on it.